Hey, I'm Austin for Squared Circle Shoot, and the Hall of Fame just ended. That means I have to talk about SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. As far as the SmackDown went, it started with the Usos coming out, getting interrupted by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Nothing special really happened. Pretty decent promo between the two of them, but nothing. No fight broke out. Not too interesting. There was a fatal 4-way then, following immediately after, featuring Ricochet, Montez Ford, Eric, and Chad Gable, one member of each of the teams that are going to be facing off at Wrestlemania. Once again, not that eventful. I get it. They have to take care of themselves because the match is happening tomorrow or the next day. I can't remember which. One thing that was interesting, or a couple things that were interesting in the match, was Ricochet absolutely gets folded. I know he's meant to be flinging himself around and everything, where he's a small guy who's doing these like high flying stuff. But he took a clothesline that looked like he had like a 75% possibility of breaking his neck, and he hit that 25%. So I think he should buy a scratch ticket tonight. Chad Gables, I get it, it's one of his like moves, I guess, but his roll through suplex, watching it and in that match, looked amazing. There was some high flying moments towards the end with Ricochet taking the win. Obviously, he's the most high flying one out of them. I believe it was one of the Street Profits who took the first high fly, and then he came in afterwards and stole the win. Whatever. So that puts a little bit of a hitch in my theory. The Street Profits did have a stare down with the Usos though, but that also goes against my other theory of the Usos losing and then the Street Profits winning, which would then cause it. Anyway, after that, the Andre the Giant match happened. Baron Corbin was the first one going out, or if he goes by Baron Corbin anymore, I don't know. He goes by 8 different names. I don't know, King Corbin. And that was a pretty big W. He was the first one out. Then there was an Otis betrayal. There was so much going on. There's some little things to pay attention to. Otis sold some not impacting hits, and then with the Maximum Male Models or whatever it was, he got betrayed halfway through, but he got saved. Something interesting: Boog spinning some guy around and knocked out his teammate. I don't know who 20 of the people in that match were. I ain't gonna lie. He spun the guy around, knocked his teammate out, then threw him out. It was pretty funny. Loomis was thrown out by Karrion Kross, who I don't really know the two very much, but I know Loomis's character and I know Karrion Kross's character and former character. There was then a standoff between Reed and Braun Strowman, which was, and even the announcers mentioned it, how Big E mentioned it on a podcast once, was that there was a big standoff of big meaty men slapping meat, and that was fun to watch, followed by LA Knight getting tossed, and then it was left with more meaty men slapping meat. One thing to mention about that match, though, is how Braun Strowman was calling the entire match play by play, as plain as day, right in front of the cameras, telling what's going to happen, telling people what to do. He's sitting there in the corner, he's like, oh, hit him, and then go that, and then throw that, and then maybe I can pick you up and throw you, I don't know. Like, it was right in front of the cameras. You don't see that, you don't do that. I don't know how. I just caught that. I don't know if everybody else was paying that much attention, but I was paying that much attention. And then Bobby Lashley won. Bobby Lashley won. He got his match at WrestleMania canceled for the most part, so he deserved that win, I would say. For me personally speaking, I think he deserved that win. After that, it went to the women's fatal 4-way match with Natalya, Raquel, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya Deville. There wasn't really much to say about the match considering it was quick, but they built Rodriguez up to be an insane powerhouse, and she's tossing people around. She does the 2-stack up John Cena thing, and she just looks really strong. Good build up, honestly. Then it's shown to a backstage moment where Rey Mysterio is talking with the Phantasmo group, and he brings back the Latino World Order, which is good to see. Nice shout out. But that that quickly moves into Sheamus and Drew McIntyre versus Guten and Tag of Imperium. Sheamus and Drew really sold how they feel about each other with the lack of teamwork and the like hatred between the two. There was an average, like, you know, breakdown, the stuff we've seen before with the I'm gonna tag myself in and then you tag yourself in, yada yada. They trade back and forth a little bit. Couple big kicks and then Sheamus win. That brought us right into the promo between Cody Rhodes and Drew That brought us into the next promo with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Cody was confident, as he always is with his promos. He's pumping the crowd up, and then he just starts singing Tupac. I mentioned this on the Squared Circle Shoot Twitter. Why would he mention Tupac? Why would he quote Tupac? I found that a little bit weird. I get it, he's in Inglewood, but like, it was so uncalled for. I don't know. It ended up with him like having that little spot where he's being a little goofy, and then he ends up with being like super real and down to earth, talking about his emotions and whatever. Reigns obviously has to interrupt that. Comes out, says he hates the crowd, you know, as your heel does. Just says acknowledge me, and then walks out. Fair enough. He said what he needed to say. Everything that's said has been said, and he wants to leave it down to the fight itself. That brought us into the Hall of Fame, where Stacy Keibler was inducted by Mick Foley and Tori Wilson. There was a pretty funny thing that Mick Foley said, where he mentioned that he would like to see Stacy Keibler versus Molly Holly for a who's the nicest person in the world match. You know, I don't know. Andy Kaufman, comedian, was inducted by Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart mentions how Jerry Lawler looks good. Jerry Lawler, you can tell how much he's been through in the last couple of years with his heart attacks and everything that's been going on with him. It's sad to see, but like, hopefully he recovers, honestly. Ric Flair inducted Muta, the Great Muta. And I found it really cool how they did his thing. And like, obviously he doesn't speak too much English, Muta, but he got his point across. He spit the mist. You can see Asuka was so excited, you know, like she had this genuine happiness about it. That was pretty nice. The package that he did for Tim White, where he won the Warrior Award, the package was really nice. It went over everything. They did him very, very well. Mentioning all of his stuff. He was inducted by APA. They talked about his bar and everything. It was good. They did real good on that part. And then Conan inducted Ray, and it was probably the best induction speech that's been given in years. There isn't many people who would deliver that good of a performance on the mic other than Conan. And Ray gave a great speech himself. And the only thing that's really to be mentioned there is the fact that Dominic walked out. Now that's something where you got to talk about that a little bit. Dominic walking out, that's obviously a show. You could see it on his face. He didn't sell it that great. But that is what happened. That's all that happened tonight. And tomorrow, there's going to be another video about WrestleMania. Yep. I'm going to talk about WrestleMania each night individually. 2 different videos. I'm probably going to start talking about AEW soon. Probably in like a week or 2. Maybe even NXT. I don't know anything what's going on in NXT besides for Braun Breaker. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, ideas, opinions, let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, you know all of it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.